First, we install Visual Studio. To do that, search for Visual Studio Community Edition and download. Then, to create a web application, open Visual Studio, select Create a new project, search for Web, and choose a ASP.NET Core web app. Click on the Next button. Provide a project name and location. Untick the Configure for HTTPS option. And you will get an application with Model View Controller folders. Here, we are using the database first method. So, to create a database in SQL Server, open Server Management Studio, create a database and a table, set a primary key field, and enable auto increment. Then, in Visual Studio, we first set up a connection string in the upsettings.json file, specifying the server name and database name. Next, install the Entity Framework package. To do this, go to the Tools menu, select NuGet Package Manager, then choose Manage NuGet Packages for solution. In the Browse tab, search for Entity Framework and select version 6.0.11 of Entity Framework Core SQL Server for our project. Next, in the Model folder, add a new class for the employee model with the same fields as in the database. Specify the table name and the primary key field. Next, add another class named Application DB Context to the Model folder and inherit it from DB Context. Create a constructor inside it to retrieve the connection from upsettings.json. Also, add a DB set for the Model class to manage the table. Then create a controller. Right-click on the controllers folder, select Add, then Controller. Choose MVC Controller Empty, give the controller a name with the suffix controller. In the controller, create action results and views for the view create, edit, and delete actions. To add views for each action result, right-click inside the Views folder, then choose Add and View. Set the Razor View template and specify the model class for each view. Then manually add some data to the database table, followed by writing code for the view on the action result. We create a constructor inside the controller. We create a private read-only property context of type application DB context. We use dependency injection in the constructor to inject an instance of application DB context into the controller. The connection to the database is established through the context property, which is initialized via dependency injection. Then write the code for viewing data inside the action result. Then add services in the program.cs, save it. After that, set a startup page in program.cs and run the application. The data types of fields in the database table and the model class should be the same, otherwise, you will encounter an error. To add a new record, there is a link on the View Employee page. When we click on the Create New link on the View Employee page, we navigate to the Create Employee view. Then, add an HTTP post method for creating, and again, run the application. Next, write code for the edit view. First, we write code to retrieve data for an employee with a particular ID. Then, write the code for updating in the HTTP post action result for edit. On the employee view page, set a link to navigate to the edit page with the ID of an employee. In a similar manner, write code for the delete functionality. Initially, code for retrieving data for the employee to be deleted based on their ID. Then, implement the code for deletion in the HTTP post action result for delete. After completing the code for deletion, run the application. Thank you for following these steps, and best of luck with your application development.